Babe, would it be okay for me to go to the potluck that they're throwing at work?
What? Potluck? Don't be talking about some potluck. You know that I've been suffering from some really bad morning sickness, and you want to go to a potluck?
Why? I haven't gone to a work party in forever. Ever since COVID hit, it's been like 2 years since we had our last potluck. Oh, just this one time? Come on, I'll make sure that I make the food that I need to bring myself. I promise that I'll try my best so that I won't smell like food when I come back home too. So please, I really want to go.
Ugh, am I living with a husband or an elementary student that just ended up growing a little bigger? Well, when are you going to come back home?
Midnight. I'll make sure that I come back right at midnight or earlier. How does that sound? It's not too late, nor is it too early.
What are you going to do if it ends up taking longer than that?
I'll make sure to never even talk of any party that might be going on after this one.
All right. Just make sure to go slow on the alcohol, and please don't come home reeking of different food. I'll throw up on your clothes if you smell, okay?
Alright, don't even worry about me smelling like food, babe. I'll smell like flowers rather than food by the time that I get back.
Yeah, whatever you say. Be sure to check the time and don't drink too much, all right? Our future baby in my tummy told me to make sure you behave yourself.
Alright. Thanks for the soup in the morning. It made me feel a lot better and helped me recover faster from last night.
I told you not to drink too much alcohol. You get hungover so horribly that it looks like you were on death's door.
No, trust me, I didn't drink that much at all, but it somehow still upset my stomach for some reason.
Yeah, I'm proud of you, sure. I was just glad that you didn't come back home stinking. I complimented you on that one.
Right? I tried my best. Oh, my mom was asking me why you aren't picking up the phone. She asked me to tell you that she wants you to answer the phone.
She called me? I didn't know. Okay, let me give her a text or a call back sometime later. Yolanda, did you try to call me? I'm sorry, I had no idea that you'd called me on the phone.
Do you carry around your phone as decoration? Kids these days never let go of their phones. It's impossible for them to not pick up a call, so what is going on with you? It always has to be me that contacts you first, or else you would never call or text me ever.
I'm sorry about that. I'll try to be better at keeping in touch. Did you need something from me, though?
Do I need to only contact you if I have something that I want from you? I just wanted to know how you're doing these days, because I know you had some bad morning sickness. I just wanted to know how the baby was doing, too. That's why I wanted to talk to you.
Oh, I'm actually doing all right with the eating part. It got a lot better than how it used to be ever since I've entered the second trimester. The only thing is that I still tend to puke quite often when I smell certain foods, so that's a little annoying.
Is that so? Well, at least it's getting a little better. I was thinking that it's about time that it gets better since you're on your second trimester now.
Yes, I guess that's the case. But why do you ask about this all of a sudden?
Have you taken a look at the calendar these days?
The calendar? Today's the 7th of June. Wait, next week is Daniel's birthday.
How come nobody remembers his birthday? You and Dominic both. Not a single soul. Honestly, it's kind of rude.
Oh, I'm so sorry about that, Yolanda. I even wrote it on the calendar that it's his birthday next week. It totally slipped my mind recently. I'm really sorry about that, but trust me, I didn't forget about it.
We decided to eat out at a nice restaurant that day. Since it's my husband's birthday, I want to buy you something good to eat, and that's why I wanted to talk to you. You and Dominic aren't too busy, right?
Of course, we can't miss out an important birthday like this without a good reason to. Did you already reserve a spot?
Don't worry about the reservations. We already took care of all of that. The only thing that you have to do is show up with Dominic.
Oh, really? Thank you so much, Yolanda. If you just tell me where it's going to be at, I'll make sure to show up with Dominic with a gift in hand.
All right, I'll see you that day then.
I totally forgot that it's my dad's birthday next week. Did you know about it?
I wrote it on the calendar as big as I could, but I still forgot about it. I wonder what would have happened if your mom didn't text me today and tell me about it. Man, that would have been so chaotic and embarrassing. It gives me a headache to even just think about it.
My mom told me that they'll take us out for dinner, so she said don't worry about having to spend a lot of money.
Yeah, she told me the same thing. She said that she already took care of reserving a table, too.
Oh, really? Okay, then that means we don't need to worry about finding a good restaurant to dine in. Let's just make sure that we get a nice gift so that my dad will like it. And chip some money in with it, too. Sounds like a good plan, doesn't it?
Yeah, I was thinking about the same thing. A gift and some money really brightens up the day, at least for me. Are you on your way back home? Did you get off of work yet?
Yeah, I'm on my way right now.
Don't text and drive at the same time. Let's just talk about it more when you get back home.
Sure, I'll see you at home, baby.
Alyssa, are you still in the bathroom? Are you not feeling too well? Did you get sick?
Oh, yeah. I don't know. I just don't really feel too good today. Maybe it's because of the smell of the food.
That's weird. Most people are already done with the whole getting sick phase by this time of their pregnancy. Why are you like that? It's so odd that you're so sensitive. Anyway, we got done with the meal on our end, but I want to ask you for a favor.
A favor? What is it?
Did you bring your wallet today?
Yes, I brought my wallet, but what's the matter?
Then can you pay for the meal for tonight?
What? I thought you said you wanted to buy us a meal, so just come without worrying about paying for anything.
Yeah, I was going to buy it tonight, but I forgot about the card that I normally use back at home. I don't have any cash on me either. Emma doesn't have money, and it seems like Dominic doesn't have much either. You're the only one that's got money right now, so do me a favor and pay for the meal, please.
Oh, all right, I can do that. I'll go back to the table now. How much is it in total?
It says $519.
$519? What do you mean $519?
What are you getting so shocked at? Inflation is one hell of a thing these days. Plus, we're at a French restaurant. What did you think it was going to cost? I told the waitress that you'll be paying for the meal, so once you get done with paying, come down to the parking lot.
Alyssa, where are you? It's hot outside. Come back inside now.
Hey, I'm really upset about what happened today. I bought a smoothie to cool myself down right now, so please don't talk to me.
What's the matter? I thought you were having fun at the dinner. Why are you so angry? I don't understand at which point you became so angry at. Did something happen?
Oh, you don't understand why I'm so angry? You say that I had fun at dinner? Did you think that I was really having a fun time and was eating all right, knowing that food smell makes me sick? Not to mention, I'm allergic to dairy, which French food uses a lot in sauces.
You are? I had no idea.
The 3 years that we've been together has been for nothing, huh? I guess I can't blame you for this one. It's not like you ever really suggested on going to eat French when we were just dating either. The only thing I ate were the dinner rolls. But you were having a good time shoving down every single thing that came out. Must have been nice, huh? Did it taste good? Were you having a lot of fun tonight?
I'm sorry, Alyssa. I didn't know. I didn't think it would be such a big deal.
Also, I don't think that it was a waste of money to pay for the meal. But what I found upsetting is the way that your mom came to me and told me to pay for the meal as if it was all planned out to begin with.
She didn't mean for it to be like that.
Sure, I can pay for the meal, all right. After all, it's your dad's birthday today. I'm not mad about the fact that I had to spend my money on buying the food. It's that it just seemed as if she already knew that she was going to make me pay for it.
It's not that she was planning on making you pay from the get-go. It's just that you were the only one with enough money to pay for it.
Do you not have a single card in your wallet that you could use to pay for the meal?
No, I do. It's just that I'm almost at the limit for this month.
So you're telling me that you used so much money this month that you wouldn't be able to pay for the restaurant today? Or are you going to have a struggle to pay off the money on the card, making your credit score go down?
Well, in the end, you paid for it, and it's all solved now. None of us had the money to pay for it, so what should we have done? Just walked out? Why are you being so upset after it all happened? Why didn't you just say something then?
Why am I so upset? Okay, since you're going to act like I'm the weird one, let me ask you a question. Does Emma not work?
Emma? Emma just graduated from college. She's looking for a job right now.
Didn't you tell me that she found a job?
She said it didn't really suit her once, so she quit.
Wow, what an easy life. I don't like this one thing about the job, so I'm just going to stop working. They don't suit my one, so I'm just going to stop working.
There's no reason for her to still work for the same job if it stresses her out like that. Come on, quit with all of this complaining. I'll just give you the $519 that you had to pay for. Are you happy now?
No, I don't need that stinking money. You think I'm mad because I had to spend a lot of money? I already said that that isn't what I'm upset about, so you're wrong. I literally just explained a minute ago that I'm mad about how your mom acted towards me, so stop getting it confused.
Come inside. Let's talk about this inside when you come back in. It's hot outside. I'll have the fan on so that you can cool down a bit.
Yolanda, I fully understand how you really think of me.
Did you get into my phone while I was asleep? How did you get this screenshot? I put a lock on my phone. How did you get through the password?
Are you stupid? The passcode was my birthday. A little kid would be able to get through your phone. Yolanda, the day when we went out and had dinner with everyone on Patrick's birthday, I thought that on that day you actually did forget about bringing your wallet, and that's why you asked me to pay for the meal. But it turns out that you were already planning this whole thing beforehand, huh?
It's already in the past. What more can I do for you about this matter? Are you really that bummed out because of the fact that you had to spend some money for your father-in-law's birthday? Were those $519 that important to you? Is it really that big of a deal for you to spend some money?
Oh no, trust me, Yolanda. On special occasions, if it's needed, I can spend more than $519. On days like that, I can spend way more and I wouldn't even bat an eye about it. But the thing is, there were so many things about the day that were just so suspicious and didn't add up. I know that you're not the type of person that forgets to bring important things like wallets. You're extremely strict about finances, and there's no way that you would make such a mistake like that on the day of Patrick's birthday. Wow, Alyssa, honestly, that's kind of creepy, don't you think so? Are you really getting all mad and rude because you had to pay some money for my dad's birthday? Is this what you were really thinking? What, are you like an FBI agent or something? A private investigator? What's up with being so uptight like that? You're out of control.
I can't believe that you think you have the right to tell me anything. You can't keep a job for your own good, and you're nearly in your 30s. You quit your job like you come from some rich family when in reality you can't even pay your own bills. You refuse to pay for a dinner on your own dad's birthday, but you're gonna come to me and villainize me about it? Yeah, you're right. I had it all planned out from the beginning. So what? Other daughters-in-law are open-hearted and caring so much to the point where even if you didn't ask, they'll spend money on their in-laws and bring them gifts. Have you ever done something like that for us? Or for me? No. So what's the issue here? You should be reflecting on yourself right now.
Yolanda, let's take a minute and stop right here to observe some things. First of all, that house that you and Patrick are living in, I did it for you. I helped out so that you guys could move into a bigger house. Secondly, that purse that you were wearing during the birthday night, I bought you that. And that's Chanel, is it not? Third, once again, on the birthday night, the heels that you were wearing were also a gift from me that I got for you because I got it when I got an incentive at work. Now, what else should I bring up? Why are you cherry picking right now with the things that I did and didn't do for your family? I could do 100 great things, but the moment I do one bad thing or make a mistake, I'll get thrown under the bus for it. All you're doing right now is nitpicking on something that really wasn't even my fault, and you should know that.
Hey, you better watch your mouth. This is my mom that you're talking to. Of course, it was our fault that we already had this planned out from the beginning and trapped you into paying for dinner, but there's no real reason for you to be so rude about it.
Also, I already found out about how you knew all along that I hated French food. You're the one that went too far with this one. If I hadn't looked into your phone and had you been a little more careful with your cover-up, I wouldn't have known about any of this until the day that I die. I take this as a chance that the heavens have given to me. I'm being told by something out there that the family that I've married into is just full of selfish jerks that are horrible human beings. So I should hurry up and escape from them as fast as I can.
What? Are you saying that you want to get a divorce?
Oh, so you don't want to catch on with anything else but want to catch on with this one? Yeah, you're right. I want a divorce. You and your family members were trying to send me to heaven earlier than planned by feeding me food that I'm allergic to. Then, when that didn't work out, you guys turned around and got petty with money and made me pay for the meal. Why should I have to keep silent about something like this? You all tried to kill a person.
If you get divorced, then what? What are you gonna do about the baby inside of your belly? That baby is a proud blood of our family.
Oh, don't worry about that. I'm gonna give birth to the baby and raise them like everybody else. Also, what do you mean the baby's your family's blood? It's not anymore. It's just my child. I can't change the seed's genes, but I can let the child have my last name.
I'm sorry, Alyssa. I didn't think much of the whole thing.
Okay, and I don't want to live with someone who's so empty-minded that they'd agree with giving someone food that they're allergic to. Let's just split up from here on out. Have fun living with your mom that doesn't want to remember anything that I've done for her and wants to just cherry pick what she wants to remember. Have fun living with your stupid little sister that can't keep a single job and refuses to reflect on herself to see if maybe it's her that's doing something wrong. Have fun living with your dad who refuses to see any of this situation and is acting as if he's not involved in any of this. Goodbye. I'm going to find my own life and live for my own happy ending. Don't ever contact me again. Any of you. I knew something was wrong about that night during my father-in-law's birthday. If I didn't look through my husband's phone that night, I might have never known the truth. I guess that it's true that people's gut feelings are a real thing. I believe that this was a perfect example of when my gut feeling really served me justice. I got a divorce with Dominic a little while later and gave birth to my child. I received a lot from the divorce trial, and Dominic lost his custody to the baby, and I was given full custody of it. I told him not to come and find me again, but he had the audacity to come and find where I moved to and asked if he could at least see the baby's face for the first and last time. He even brought his mom. I didn't hesitate to report them to the police and also asked for a restraining order against them. I went back home to my parents and decided to open a little store that I've always wanted to open. Now I'm able to take care of my baby, and I also became an owner of a store. I hope that for the rest of my life, I won't have to deal with such scumbag people anymore. I'm wishing for a peaceful life where I'll be able to grow as a person, as well as becoming a proud mother for my child.
Hi, is this Brooke?
Yes, it is. Who's this?
Hi, Mom. It's me. It's been a long time since we saw each other for the last time. Has it been 15 years since then? How have you been?
Did you just call me Mom? Oh my goodness. Is this Kayla?
Yeah, it is.
How did you know my number? Did your dad give it to you by any chance? Did you text me to demand the answers from me why I left you and your sister 20 years ago? Did you text me to make me feel guilty about it?
No, not at all. It's not like that. Dad has been acting weird lately, so I secretly looked through his phone to see if something was bothering him. And there I found you getting in touch with him. You're so shameless, aren't you? How could you ask him for money after you haven't called once after leaving him and the two of us behind 20 years ago? It's been 2 decades, and that is a long time. You called him out of nowhere and asked him for money? Does that make sense to you?
What did you want me to do? What was I supposed to do? I have a son and his name is James. My precious son has acute leukemia and needs an aggressive treatment, but I can't afford it. I need money to keep him alive, but I can't afford the medical bills even if I work 3 jobs. James may be nobody to your dad, but he's your brother who shared the same blood.
I don't have a brother. I only have a sister, and she's my only sibling.
Don't be so harsh. He is your brother because I gave birth to all of you. You're going to help your sick brother, right? He desperately needs your help and he deserves one.
Did you say he deserves my help? How can a stranger deserve my help? You're funny.
Like I said, you guys have the same mother and that makes you brother and sister. And he's not a stranger. You're old enough to have a job by now. You must be making some money, right? I need your money. Please help me and your brother. You're not going to let your brother die without trying, are you?
I'm telling you again, I don't have a brother. I never had one my whole life. You divorced Dad and left us behind when I was barely 11 and Eunice was 10. We were so young and we needed a mom. Still, you didn't care about us. You left us behind because you fell in love with another guy. You cheated on Dad and you even married your lover. And then you had a son that I wasn't even aware of. Even if you call him my brother, I don't empathize with him and I'm not going to help him. He's not entitled to my help, and I'm not obligated to help him. Don't fool yourself. Do you even know what the rest of us had to go through after you left us irresponsibly? Dad had to quit his 10-year job because he needed to take Eunice to doctor's appointments and therapies and treatments for her disability. He ended up working short-term contractor jobs and had a very tough time to be a dad and a mom at the same time.
Do you think it was easy for me to raise you? I was so stressed and exhausted to raise you girls who were only 1 year apart. It drove me crazy that both of you were always crying, and that was absolutely abnormal. Postpartum depression hit me hard and I became lethargic. On top of everything else, I was alive but dead inside after Eunice got into a car accident that made her paralyzed. I thought my life was finally getting better once Eunice was 10 and you were 11, but that accident turned everything back to square one. Eunice couldn't even go to the bathroom by herself and she needed around-the-clock care. She needed me every second. I felt like taking care of her was even harder than when she was an infant. You wouldn't understand how I felt. I was so embarrassed to take her to the doctor in her wheelchair. My life was miserable, and all I could think of was to kill myself to end this agony.
You were embarrassed of Eunice? How dare you say that? You were not allowed to be embarrassed. Did you forget why Eunice got into an accident in the first place? She saw you holding some other guy's hand on the street, so she was calling you and following you. There she was hit by a semi-truck and eventually became paralyzed. She lost her freedom of walking because of you, and you were embarrassed of her? What kind of mother are you talking about your disabled daughter that way?
What's the problem with what I'm saying? I never signed up for taking care of a paralyzed girl. Everything I'm saying is how I feel, and these feelings are all valid. I was thrown into a role I was completely unprepared for. I had no other choice than leaving you guys because I wanted to breathe again and live my life. What was so wrong with that? Was that a crime? I thought Eunice and your dad might not understand me, but at least you would. Was I wrong? You particularly loved me since you were very little, and you didn't even go to sleep without me. You needed me to sit by you whatever you do, when you were eating, watching television, and even when you were doing your homework. I thought you would love me until the end of the world, no matter what. But was I wrong about that? You loved me, unlike Eunice, who was only looking for her dad, which I hated about her.
Oh, so you knew I wouldn't go to sleep without you, and you still left me? Especially for a guy? I might have tried to understand you if you left us because you were so miserable and you needed to run away from your pathetic life. But the fact is that you left us for a guy. Don't you dare ask me if I would understand and forgive you. Every night I told myself that you were on a trip and you will come back home eventually. I prayed every night that you would come back the next day. Do you have any idea how much I missed you? I burst out in tears when other kids were talking about their moms, or even when they brought up the word mom. And sadly, that feeling faded away slowly over time. And now even just the word mom makes me uncomfortable. And what did you say again? You hated Eunice for only looking for dad? How dare you say that when you clearly know why she was only looking for dad? Don't you remember what you said to her? You said if you'd known she was going to be a waste of life, you would have rather never given birth to her. She was only 10 at the time and you hurt her so much with your words. How do you expect her to like you after what you said to her? After what you did? She loved you so much too. She was only 10 but was very considerate that she didn't want to bother you so much. She dragged her butt by herself when she needed to go to the bathroom so you can have a moment to rest. Of course, she's paralyzed from the waist down, so there wasn't much that she could do by herself. But she tried her best not to bother you to gain your love back. She was only 10 at the time. Don't you feel sorry for her?
Stop it. I don't want to talk about what happened in the past. The past is in the past, and I can't do anything about that. But we can do something for right now. I said my son is sick, and he's going to miss the golden time of treatment if I don't have the money ready soon enough. You know what? You can blame me and hate me all you want, but I need your money right now. I'll let you take your crap out on me later when James gets better with the money you provided.
You tossed us aside like a bag of garbage and you're devoted to your son? Why don't you toss him away like you did to us? You left us because Eunice became paralyzed. So you should have no problem leaving your son since he has leukemia, right? It's so ironic that you choose which one of your children to love or not to love. Is your mother's instinctive love different for every child?
Have you ever been in love?
What does that have to do with anything?
I asked if you've ever been in love with someone. You should know what love is if you ever had a boyfriend. You are undoubtedly willing to give up everything when you meet the love of your life. You will do anything and everything for him because you love him so much unconditionally. And a baby from that love is utterly precious. That baby deserves my entire heart and soul, and nothing in this world matters anymore.
So you're saying Eunice and I didn't deserve your undivided love because we're the babies you had from my dad whom you didn't love?
I never loved your dad. I was told to marry him by my parents, so I did. But I never felt happy being with your dad who barely spoke and barely made money. I still had two of you in that unfavorable situation whom I didn't want in the first place. I was so tired of everything all the time. Every second of 10 years of my marriage with your dad was so miserable. And then out of nowhere, there he was. I met the love of my life and realized what everything is supposed to be after I have my son with him. I realized this is what people say about fruition of love. This is what a mother's instinctive love is. This is how a marriage should be. I felt my world was flipped upside down.
It is so pathetic and a waste of time to listen to you. I don't feel bad about myself for crying every night and waiting so dearly for someone like you to come back. I feel so bad that I loved you so much and missed you all the time. I don't have a penny to give to someone like you, so stop butting into my life. We finally got back on our feet and we're doing just fine without you. Don't try to tear it up again.
I never tried to butt into your life. I only called him to get the money I deserved but wasn't able to get back in the day.
Are you saying he owes you money? What kind of money are you talking about?
We didn't go through the division of property when we divorced each other 20 years ago. I was busy leaving him to be with the love of my life, and I didn't want to waste another second not being with him. I thought money didn't matter, but now I'm thinking back. I deserve the half of whatever your dad and I had. I was entitled to half of the property. This is between me and your dad. It's grown-up talk. I don't need your opinion or criticism. Mind your own business.
What property? We were left with nothing because of you, remember? You wasted everything we got from the insurance company from Eunice's car accident. We were supposed to help Eunice with her therapy with the insurance payout, but you just wasted all of it. You spent all that money on your love of your life, didn't you? We knew it back then, but we were so young and there was nothing we could do. You just wasted it, and you didn't give a penny to the rest of us. And now what? You think you were entitled to the property? You're disgusting. You make me sick.
No, whatever happened with insurance payout is different from what I deserved. I was still entitled to the property because your dad and I were legally married for 10 years.
What a fool. You can't claim for division of property after 2 years from the date you were divorced. You should have looked into it carefully if you really wanted the money.
What? What kind of unfair law is that? I should be able to get what I deserved even after 40 years. It doesn't make sense.
I said there's nothing to give you. Even if we had something, we wouldn't give anything to you. You're nothing to us.
I didn't expect you to be like this to me, but fine, I get it. I understand that you must be left with nothing after helping Eunice's rehabilitation therapy. I know how much that will cost. You might not have money, but you still have your house. It's kind of old as it's been 30 years since it was built, but still, it's better than nothing. It's a seller's market right now, so it shouldn't be so hard for me to sell it. Just transfer the ownership of the house to me. Then I'll give your dad the half of the sales proceeds. See? I'm being so fair. This is the true definition of division of property. Please talk to your dad to hand it over to me. It would be greatly appreciated if you could do that for me.
Again, tell me exactly why you think I should do that?
Because you loved me. You used to do everything I asked you to do. You said you were waiting for me to come back every night, so here I am. I came back for you, and I need your house.
I'm telling you over and over again, I'm not that 11-year-old when you left me. I loved you when you were my mom, but you stopped being my mom the moment you left me and Eunice to be with your so-called love of your life. I don't think I even hate you anymore because you're nothing to me. You're not worth a bit of my feelings. I'm not that little girl who used to do everything her mom asked her to do. I'm a grown-up who has her own job and having her own rules and principles. You should have realized that already. And what kind of house are you talking about? We don't have that house anymore.
What? You sold your only property because you were so hard-pressed to make a living? This is exactly why I left your dad. Your dad was not capable of putting the food on the table for the family. I had to find another guy who could do that for me. I kind of hoped he would do better now, but I guess he doesn't. Poor you. You and Eunice must have a hard time making a living every day because of your incompetent father.
Don't you dare talk about him. He devoted his life to us, and we are so grateful for what he did for us. And for the record, we sold the house not because Dad was incompetent, but Eunice and I were competent. We sold the 30-year-old house, and we moved into a 5,000 square foot single-story house where a lot of celebrities are in the neighborhood.
What? 5,000 square foot house with celebrities in the neighborhood? That's not possible. Did you say you were competent? What do you do for a living?
It's kind of funny to show off how capable I am, but money? A house? Aren't they supposed to be in your hands automatically when you try your best?
I literally don't understand anything you're saying. Oh my goodness. Don't tell me you guys became some kind of escorts or prostitutes so that you can make a lot of money so effortlessly. Is that because I wasn't there to take care of you?
Look what you're talking about. I guess that's all you can think of because you're such a whore. You might not want to believe it, but I'm a YouTuber with 300,000 subscribers.
What the hell is that?
I'm a crime story YouTuber introducing crime stories from all over the world. I research the crime cases myself, and I also write the scripts myself. I also work as a voice actor. I've done several animation projects over the last couple of years. Don't you dare accuse me of making money like that. I read and study endlessly to make my videos. I'm one of the top crime story YouTubers out there, and I fought tooth and nail to become what I became.
Is that true? How much can you make if you become a YouTuber?
Why should I tell you how much I make? I'm making a hell of a lot more than whatever you imagine. Can we stop this conversation? I don't want to talk to a stranger anymore.
You can't call your mom a stranger. You became such a successful YouTuber because I gave birth to you. If it weren't for me, you couldn't have been what you are today. Wouldn't it be unfair for me if only your dad gets to enjoy your success when I was the one who had you and raised you? He can't be the only one to live in that 5,000 square foot house.
Oh, I think you misunderstood. I didn't buy this house myself. Eunice and I bought it together. She paid for half of it.
How can someone like Eunice with paralysis buy a huge house like that? Did she make a fortune by receiving disability benefits?
That's all you can think of, right? Don't be too surprised. But she can walk now. She still needs to work some more. But she can stand up and walk by herself. Thanks to Dad. He was completely devoted to her therapy, and she could have walked again because of him. Because she wasn't able to walk. She was always sat down, and all she could do was draw. It was her only comfort, and she became such a good artist after spending many years of drawing. And eventually, she became a pretty well-known cartoonist. She was abused and treated like baggage by her mom, but she became one of the best cartoonists in the field. She couldn't be happier. I guess we became successful because you got out of the picture. We couldn't have become what we have become if you were still our mother.
Do you think it makes sense that you guys are doing so well when I'm having such a hard time? If both of you have plenty of money, aren't you supposed to have mercy on your mother who gave birth to you and raised you? Isn't that what a human is supposed to do? Isn't that your responsibility as my daughters? What about your one and only brother? You can help him with his treatment if you're so rich. Don't you know rich people should help poor ones and they will be blessed even more?
I'm sponsoring a lot of different charities on a regular basis, so you don't have to worry about me being blessed even more.
Are you saying you're gladly helping strangers, but you can't help your mom and brother? That's so messed up. Can't you be a decent human being?
It's funny how such an inhumane person like you is telling me to be a decent human being.
What a disrespectful woman you've become.
I am done with you, so I'm going to block you now. Don't you ever try to talk to me again. Stop being pathetic and talking to Dad. He's been seeing a nice woman for a while now. Don't even think about trying to interrupt them and get the hell away from us.
What? Your dad is cheating on me?
Do you even understand what you're saying? What you did to him was cheating because you were seeing other guys when you were still married to him. You and your dad divorced 20 years ago, and him seeing other women after he was divorced can't be cheating, can it? Eunice and I introduced a good woman to Dad because he devoted his 20 years of his younger life raising us. She is the complete opposite of you. You don't need to care about how we're doing since we're total strangers now. And mind your damn business with your love of your life and so precious fruition of love.
Hold up, Kayla!
After what happened with Brooke, I blocked her and my dad changed his number so she won't be able to call him again. He's so sick of her that he's afraid she's going to call him again even after he changed his number. She was such a monster who didn't even ask how I have been all this time or paid a sincere apology for what happened. And she still called herself my mom. I guess I won't have to see her or talk to her ever again. I'm sorry that our relationship started as mother and daughter but ended up as an ill-fated relationship. But I want to forget what happened in the past and move forward, hoping that the three of us can live happily ever after. I hope that things between Dad and his girlfriend work out, so I might have an actual mom someday. We had our bad days that all we could afford was a $1 mac and cheese from the dollar store, but I'm grateful that I can help other people who need my help. I'm happy that my hard work paid off, and I can continue the work that I love so much.
Thanks for watching. If you liked the video, please like and subscribe for more videos. Who do you think you are to disrespect me like that? Do you think you're some sort of queen, do you? You would never listen to me when I tell you what to do. You think I'm a joke, do you? You don't even act like you're listening to me. Oh, well, hello to you too, Jean. But you have to be a little bit more specific than that. I have no idea what you're talking about. How many times do I have to tell you? I've told you millions of times, and you just let my words slide over your head. Like I said, you have to be more specific than that, or I'll never know what you're talking about. I said to never buy my son those triangle briefs. Do you remember now? Huh? Jeez, why do you even care what he wears under his pants? That's a little creepy. Men should never wear those kinds of briefs. I told you! They should never wear those tight briefs. It's not good for them. They should be wearing one of those loose boxers. They keep everything cool. Do you know nothing about men's anatomy? I'm sure you remember now, Lisa. Do you remember now? All right, I think I remember you saying something about boxers and briefs. I just thought that was your preference. I never really paid attention. Do you hate me? Why do you never listen? You always do the exact opposite of what I tell you to. You have no respect for me, do you? You can at least act like you're listening, but you never do. No disrespect, Jean, but why do you even care what he wears? I seriously don't understand. I really don't. Jim wears whatever he wants, and I never buy his underwear. I'm not his personal shopper, Jean. He buys his own underwear, and I don't care what he wears. What? You should have stopped him. I don't care if he wears briefs or boxers or some kind of flowery bikini. You shouldn't come running at me and tell me what to do. Go talk to your son. I don't get it. And besides, why do you even think you have a say in what he wears? It's his junk and he can choose whatever he wants to wear to cover that. He's not your dear little boy anymore, Jean. He's a grown man and married. He's old enough to choose for himself. Do you get it? Why are you trying to tell him what to wear? Why? Do you have to micromanage every aspect of his life? I am his mother, and I have every right to say what I have to say. Oh, then why did you let him marry Jean? You might have well just kept him under your care. He would have been a great mama's boy. And you could have kept him as your personal living male doll and dressed him in whatever underwear you like. You think I approved of this marriage? I never approved of this. You somehow lured him into this crap of a marriage, and he was just head over heels about you. You blinded him into marrying you, and what can I do to stop him? I couldn't stop him. But mark my words, Lisa, I never wanted Jim to marry you. Of all the possibilities, I didn't want you to be his wife. Oh well, now you don't even keep it a secret, huh? I always knew you were never fond of me, but I always tried really hard to get closer to you. I thought if I tried, we could bridge the gap between us. I guess that's not going to happen. Oh, that was never going to happen, you evil brat! Well, you know, I just thought all mothers-in-law were like this. I just thought if I tried to understand you and try to cater to you, we could overcome this. You know, all relationships change, so I thought we could make this work. But now I know I was the naive one. I thought you were joking when you talked about Jim's underwear. I really did. But I never knew you were so serious about this. You just have to manage what his underwear is. I mean, I can't try to get closer to someone who micromanages this type of thing. Where did you even get the idea that you can get closer to me? Was I too subtle? I never wanted to get to know you, even less get closer to you. And I still stand by it. Oh, well then, that makes it more straightforward, doesn't it? It sure does, Lisa. Well, that's settled then. You took him from me! You took everything I had from me! He was my everything! I still remember the day you came to see me. That evil smirk on your face. You're just a doll my son plays with. And you act like you rule over him like he's your servant. What? Did you just call me a doll? Wow, Jean. That's quite a comment. I can't stand a ragged play doll like you treating my son like that. I will do whatever I can to stop you. You just do whatever my son tells you to do. That's all you have to do. Don't think. Just do as you're told. Jean, you're just delusional. I never expected you to treat me as an equal, but this has gone too far. You know how much I tried. You were my mother-in-law. I thought it was my duty to be respectful to you. Huh! I don't know who you were being respectful to. Do you have another mother-in-law? Jean, why can't you just acknowledge what I have been doing for you? Why are you lying to yourself? I'm not that weak to get gaslit by your lies. I know how much I tried and you do too. I have never done anything wrong to be treated like this. I am a grown woman and you will not treat me this way. You will not call me a play doll, no matter how upset you are with me, for whatever delusional reason. It's not like a play doll will bring home the money for the house. I will call you whatever I want, and you will always be a ragged play doll. And what's all this nonsense about bringing home the money? Who cares if you do? I don't even think you believe that helps your relationship with my son. What are you talking about? What do you even know about us? You have so many different kinds of panties that escort girls would wear. I think I even saw one that has a slit right in the middle. What is that perverted thing? I never knew that kind of thing existed. Do you use that to lure my son into getting what you want? So disgusting. And imagine being ignored by your own husband, even with all those perverted stunts. You know what, Lisa? I actually feel sorry for you. How did you end up wearing those just to get my son's attention? Wow, Jean. You're unbelievable. Were you going through my wardrobe? Who do you think you are? And look at you talk. Such shallow and sleazy tricks just to look for things to attack me. I don't know how low you can get. At this rate, you're going to hit rock bottom and go deeper. Oh, don't worry, Lisa. I'll make sure I drag you down with me. And when did you sneak into my home? Did you just come busting in the house when no one was home? I never busted in. I can go in as much as you can. I am your husband's mom. I have all the rights. I'm sure you do. Is that why you checked me in my husband's underwear? I can do whatever I want at my son's house. Oh, sure you do. So which of my panties did you like? Do you need some? Oh, please, Lisa. I don't need any of your nasty undergarments. Oh, I'm sure of that. Do you have some kind of fetish for underwear? I mean, you're so obsessed with them. If you have all the time in your hands, why don't you go find some job and get a life? What? How dare you call me all that? I'm not hearing that from a useless, sterile hoe who can't even give birth. What? What are you talking about? I'm the only one among my friends who doesn't have a grandchild. Do you know how much I feel left out? Everyone talks about their grandchildren. They share pictures and stories, and do you know how jealous I get? I have to stay there smiling for their stories and pictures. Do you know how terrible that is? You know nothing. You don't know how terrible it feels to be in that position. Why should I feel left out just because you can't have a baby? Don't you think that's unfair? It's not like I can tell everyone that you're sterile. Who even told you that? Who told you that I'm sterile? Is this more crap that you brewed up in your sleep? It's been 2 years since you were married to Jim, and there's no talk about babies. That's because it's our business and not yours. You even just mumbled your way out when I asked what your plans were. What else would that mean? It's logical to think that you can't have a baby. Besides, my friend's daughter-in-law already gave birth to 2 children. 2! And they're both sons. Isn't that amazing? Well, that's just nice. Did you ask what kind of underwear they wear? Shut up, Lisa. Your duty as a daughter-in-law is to give birth to healthy babies. Don't even call yourself a woman if you can't do that. Look at what you're saying. What did I tell you? I said it's going to be hard to have a child if you're working. I told you to quit your work and have a baby. I have no idea why you put your work above having a baby. You don't know what a privilege it is to have a child. Yeah, well, I don't know about that. I was going to tell you this when the time is right, but I guess I'll have to tell you anyways. Listen, I'm pregnant. What? What do you mean you're pregnant? For how long? It's only 9 weeks. I was going to tell you when it got more stable. Is that true? You really have conceived. Why didn't you tell me earlier? You just got pregnant all of a sudden. That's weird. Anyways, congratulations. Is it a boy or a girl? How do I know, Jean? It's only been 9 weeks. You can't tell if the baby is a boy or a girl at that stage of pregnancy. Just wait a few more weeks and I'll tell you. I heard from my friends you can find out with ultrasound even if it's early pregnancy. You're a mom now. You should know this stuff, Lisa. Do your homework. Jeez, okay, I will. Give me a break. Oh, and didn't you get any pregnancy dreams? What is the last dream you remember? You just know what your pregnancy dream is because it's so vivid. You can't forget it. I don't know. I don't remember. What do you mean you don't remember? Didn't you dream of some kind of animal? Like a tiger or a bear? Or maybe freaking out because you forgot where you put the baby? Anything baby-related? Nope, nothing like that. Are you sure? Those things can tell you if the baby is a boy or a girl. Tell me when you dream of one, okay? Okay, I'll let you know. Well then, great job, Lisa. Congratulations again. Thank you. It's nice to hear you be kind to me. Now you're being a decent daughter-in-law, bringing all the good news. Isn't this the first in 2 years? Now I can go tell my friends. Oh, well, I take that back. Now that you're pregnant, you're quitting your job, right? You know how careful you should be when you're pregnant, right? It's not like I'm infected or anything. I should quit my job? I'm not sick, I'm just pregnant. It's not like I have any signs of miscarriage. I'm going to work as long as I can. I really think you should stay home, honey. I don't want anything to happen to the baby. And not going to work will help me? I don't think so. But you should take prenatal classes. How else are you going to learn how to be a good mom? I'm going to sign up to the classes my company offers. I'm sure that will do. Besides, I heard moving around gets difficult during the later stages of pregnancy. I think it will be much better if I move around when I can. You just can't do as I say even once, can you? You always have something up your sleeves. What are you going to do if something happens to the baby? Do you have plans for that? I've never seen a study saying not working helps the baby get healthier. I'll do what I can, and you can do what you want. I'll visit the doctors every week if that helps you. So don't overreact and stop being unreasonable. Be honest with me, Lisa. You better not lie. This isn't Jim's baby, is it? That's another man's kid. Just tell me the truth. Is it that again? Just drop it, Jean. You're being paranoid. I've told you and I'll tell you again. Anna is our baby. I would know, right? Oh, I don't know if you would, Lisa. How could you know? You're giving me all this crap since Anna was born saying she doesn't look a little bit like Jim. Why won't you drop this? What's the problem? Is Anna too pretty to be your family? You know why I'm doing this, Lisa. You've seen Anna's face. She doesn't look like Jim even the slightest. It's like she's not even related to Jim. Are you blind? What are you talking about? She's the spitting image of Jim. No, she looks nothing like Jim. I thought it was because she was too young, with her face still so wrinkly. But now that I see Anna now, she looks nothing like her father. I mean, look at her. Even you can't say Anna looks like Jim. You can think whatever you want. You can be as delusional as you want if that suits you. By the way, go get your eyes checked. It seems like you need glasses. You little brat. You know what? Why don't you just get a divorce with Jim? I don't need a daughter-in-law like you, and I'm pretty sure you don't want anything to do with me. Well, you got that right. You just read my mind. Take that little runt of yours and get out of my sight. And leave my son alone. And tell you what, Lisa. I knew you would never approve, being the cheater you are. So I just took things into my own hands. What do you mean? What did you do? I did a paternity test on Anna, and I found that Anna is not Jim's daughter. Not so shocking, is it? I'm sure you would have known. Now, before I kick you out on the streets, just get a divorce like a civilized adult when I give you the chance. If you don't comply, I'll make sure every single person you know gets the results. Well, what do you know, Jean? Are you sitting down? I think you should. Why do you care? I'm doing whatever I want. Look, I don't know if you've actually done a paternity test, but I really did. And it turns out, unsurprisingly, that Anna is 99.99% Jim's daughter. Is there anything else to say, Jean? Tell me about the paternity test you did. I'm just surprised how a paternity test can have such drastically different results. You did a paternity test. When? Why did you do a paternity test if you're so sure Anna is Jim's daughter? You must have been unsure of yourself if you had to take one. Why did you do a test? Well, obviously it's because you were bugging me every single day for the past 3 months. You would call me and text me that Anna is not Jim's daughter. And most of all, I talked to John about this because I thought it might get you to stop. What? You called my husband? You called John? Yeah, I had to do something. But guess what? It was John's idea to get a paternity test, not mine. And while we were on it, we also did a paternity test on John and Jim. What? Why would they do something like that? You talked them into this. That was also not my idea. And I never talked them into anything. John came up with the idea and Jim agreed to it. I didn't say a word. Do you remember what happened 30 years ago? What are you talking about? Why are you bringing this up? When you and John were in deep financial trouble and barely had money to feed the family, John told me he went to be a miner. He told me that was the best paying job that he could find as an unexperienced person. Then he told me you gave birth to Jim only 7 months after John left to be a miner. What? Did he tell you that? Jesus Christ, Jean. 7 months? If a baby is born in 7 months, they should go straight into an incubator. But I heard Jim was just fine. I heard he even weighed the same as a baby that is 10 months old. I'm all for miracles, but a premature child that only weighs the same as a 10-month-old baby. Shut your mouth, Lisa. Do you even know what you're saying? Are you telling me that I cheated on my husband? We were having a good marriage for the past 30 years. Are you trying to ruin that? And you cannot say something like that when you're a cheating wife yourself. Oh, I'm not the cheater. I'm pretty sure you are. So don't get angry at me. Be angry at yourself. Besides, I'm just telling you why John asked me to do a paternity test on him and John. I didn't even tell you the results. It's almost like you know what the results are. I have the results with me, you know. Don't you want to know? Oh, I'm sure you know what the results are, don't you? How the hell would I know? Okay then. Just to let you know, John is not the father of Jim. Obviously, you know why that is. No. All what happened was that I was in labor and I went to deliver John. That's all there is to it. Like any other pregnancy. I swear to God, I have nothing to be ashamed of. Don't you accuse me of things that I didn't do. Well, I guess if you've been acting like a hoe for the past 30 years, you lose sense of what is shameful. What? What are you talking about? Last time you came to visit us, I accidentally saw your message. You went through my phone! You cheeky little... It's not like I picked up your phone and checked your message. It was on the table. It was just there in plain sight. You went into the bathroom to take a shower and your phone kept ringing. Some sort of message showed up on the screen. And do you know what I saw? Be quiet! I couldn't believe what I saw. At first, I thought it was John because the message said, "I love you and I miss you." But the sender was not John. It was someone else. That person even said, "You are my girl 30 years ago and now." It's almost like he was drunk texting you, with all those shameless texts. That had been going on for over 10 minutes. And I just watched that live until you came out of the shower. I mean, how can you cheat on your husband for 30 years? Jesus, Jean. I'm going to kill you. Oh, don't add homicide to your list. I'm sure you don't want that. Aren't you ashamed of being a dirty slut for 30 years? Well, at least you have consistency. What? Are you calling me a slut? How dare you? Well, if that's not a slut, I don't know what is. That's not really a class act, don't you think? Cheating on your husband and meeting up with some other man is not really what society calls normal, if you didn't know. Oh, but you don't have any proof, do you? It's your words against mine. No, it's your words against evidence. What evidence? What do you mean? You have nothing to threaten me with. Just to be clear, no one is threatening you. I'm trying to reason with you. I knew you wouldn't admit to all this, so I took pictures of that screen. I was so shocked, but I did what I could. I'm pretty sure that would be enough to prove you've been cheating. So I guess that old man you're dating with is Jim's father, right? It has to be him. You know nothing. No, I do know quite a lot. He said you were his girl for the last 30 years. Isn't that around the time you got pregnant? You didn't cheat on him too, did you? I still don't understand how you can cheat on someone for 30 years straight. Of all the people, I never knew you would have that consistency. You buy new clothes every season and buy new shoes when there is the slightest bit of dirt. But you, Jean, had unwavering love to one person. That's quite some feat. You are a cheater, but a devoted one, so I'll give you that. I never heard of such a thing from a cheater. Quite surprising, to say the least. Are you making fun of me right now? You keep your mouth shut if you want to meet your daughter again. Are you threatening me right now? Wow, Jean. You're not really in a position to threaten anyone, Jean. Not a good move. I didn't know you were this stupid. I thought you had to be a little smart to not get caught cheating. So you're telling me that you told John about this? You already told him. Not only John. I think John was suspecting as much. Jim knows as well. I had to tell Jim. Jim also has all the rights to know about this, don't you think? And he was going to know anyways. You talking rat. You will pay for this. Oh, wait. Now I see. You're so especially fond of Jim because he's the son of your love. That's what it was, right? And that underwear fetish. Your lover must wear briefs. So you wanted your son to do so too. Ugh. That's a bit disgusting, Jean. You shut up! And you were a cheater yourself, so you thought I was a cheater too. Because that's all you know. Jesus, Jean. Just because you're a cheater doesn't mean everyone is. And all you came up with was an empty threat that our Anna is not Jim's daughter? Don't you think that's too shallow? You were never a match for my son. My son is worth more than some woman like you. I'll rather have him divorce you and live with me. No one in the world loves my son more than I do. I'm better at cooking than you. I'm better at cleaning than you. Jim will be better off with me. You can take your runt with you. Jim doesn't need it. So give me back my son and go away. Holy crap, you think Jim's your lover? You're on another level of disgusting. And guess what, Jean? Jim says he doesn't want to have anything to do with you. Not that surprising, right? You lied to him for 30 years. If it were not for me, I don't think he would have ever known. Were you planning on telling Jim? Tell me, Jean. You dirty little worm. Yeah, I thought not. And John said he'll be filing a divorce with you as well. So you should start looking for a lawyer. A good one if you want to cut down any sort of money you'll be paying to John. Go do what you do with your lover and stay away from us. You dirty cheater! I'll prove that you cheated. I'll tell the whole world that you're a cheater. I'll kill you! I never cheated on Jim. I'm not some kind of slut like you, Jean. I never even thought of it for a second. Unlike you, I know what makes me happy. It's John. And now there's Anna. Well, I guess you'll never understand. After that, my in-laws got a divorce and their 35 years of marriage came to an end. Jean didn't really have much because she always spent so much on new things and gadgets. Even what she had went into paying the alimony to John. She sent a text full of rant to Jim saying he is all she has and he should take her in. Jim never replied. He just blocked her on the spot. Good choice from Jim's part. Later, I heard that she went off to live with her lover, but he kicked her out. Not surprising, considering her spending habits. Also, it seemed like she used to send him allowance money every month with the money John earned. So there was obviously no reason to take her in from his point of view. In the end, Jean was just used by someone she considered her lover. Now that I think of it, I guess I do feel pity for her. Leading a cheap life, never knowing what true love is, she'll die alone, all by herself. Jim and I are happy with Anna. Anna is now 5 and she's going to elementary school. I'm so happy Anna is growing up looking just like her dad. Thank you for watching. We hope you enjoyed the video. Please don't forget to like and subscribe.